Greetings, Bring a Trailer world. Today we have for you a 1971 Triumph Daytona 500cc bike. This is one of my personal bikes, and this is a very special bike. We have the twin carb model. This bike originally was purchased in Germany by an American serviceman in 1971. He did some touring around Europe, brought the bike back, imported it to the United States, where it went to Connecticut, and eventually was purchased by the second owner. Second owner bought the bike in 1988, and he owned the bike for 35 years. He did not ride this bike very much. Bike sat for years. The owner had health problems, and then I bought the bike in August of 2023. The odometer reads 2,914 miles. I do not believe that to be the correct mileage. Both owners, I've spoken with them, swear that neither one of them changed the speedometer odometer, but I certainly cannot back up that mileage. Just touring in Europe, which is where most of these miles were put on, would have it over that. Maybe when it was imported, it went from kilometers to miles. Somebody changed it at that point. Don't know. But since I've had it, we've done all sorts of things to it. The tank has been repainted. And for those of you who know your Triumph years, that is the 1972 paint scheme. It is generally considered more desirable. It's a better looking colors. And so it's 1972 paint on a 1971 numbers matching bike. Research on the VIN shows that this bike was built in May of 1971. Unusual for a bike of this age is to have the original owner's manual, workshop manual, two of them, and the Triumph replacement parts catalog. The second owner replaced the tank and the fenders, repainted the tank and the fenders, and also put fresh chromed wheels on this bike. It was some years ago, so there is a little bit of rust on the wheels, but not much. But it was not done by me. That's why they are not fresh to, this year, let's say. I've had a number of friends, Triumph aficionados, a couple of mechanics, ride this bike, and every one of them has said it's the strongest running Daytona they have ever been on. It pulls hard. It actually brakes really well, which is a little bit unusual for these motorcycles, but it stops and goes very, very nicely. This bike also, just to be clear, in 1971, the 650 Bonnevilles went to oil and frame. 500s did not. So this is the nice original style frame, not oil in frame like the Triumph 650s had. This bike starts first kick, cold or warm, every single time. I did replace a lot of things during the time that I've had the bike. We have new tires, new headers, new mufflers, new carbs, new coils, new gaiters, and a whole lot of other things. All primary case screws, timing cover, and gear case screws were replaced with stainless steel Allen head screws. Nice touch. Now, the reason that I'm selling the bike. I bought this bike a year ago after a long search. I always wanted a 500 Daytona. The collectors always say that the 500s are lighter, better handling, just a fun bike. It accelerates just about as well as a 650, just because it's a little bit lighter and the motor is almost as strong. It's a very good vintage bike value. You get a wonderful vintage Triumph without spending the money that you had to spend to get a Bonneville these days. So, why am I selling it? A bike that I lusted after and tried to buy and was told it was not for sale became available when the owner, a friend of mine, experienced health problems. He offered me the bike and I could not refuse to buy it. And for those of you, again, who know your Triumph models, the bike that I bought is a 1965 T120C, C for competition. Very few of these bikes were made, very desirable, and I could not turn it down. So it made this bike sort of surplus in my small collection. In the process of bringing this Daytona up to top riding condition, there was one issue that remained that we did not get to, and that is an oil leak. Yes, I know they all leak. We know that. But this is a little bit more than that. It's a leak on the right side when the bike is running, comes out in this general area here, and it's nothing terminal, but it's annoying. I give the right side of the bike a quick wipe down after with a rag after riding. The bike does not leak when cold. Um, could it be the push rod tubes, faulty gasket? I do not know, but any competent mechanic is going to be able to solve the problem. And that is the only thing that we did not get to. Everything else has been done. New grips, new cables, new fluids. It's really been gone over extensively. It's not a concours bike, it's a rider, and the price will reflect that. The bike also sounds really, really nice, as you'll hear in the video. A little bit on the loud side, but it sounds beautiful. So we have a lot of new parts, very nice paint, new tires. It shifts beautifully. It's a handsome bike. It's ready for the next owner to enjoy. Thanks for listening, and ride safe. Cold start video of 1971 Triumph Daytona 500. Gas is on. We're going to tickle the carburetors so we get a nice gas flow. There it is on that side. And there it is on that side. And we turn the key clockwise. Ignition is on. I have promised every time that this is a first kick start, cold or warm. So now I have to prove it, folks. Yeah.